Right, €5 per comic.
Oh, that's
That's a quite good price, let's say.
a lot of comic books.
Yeah, more comic books than kebabs. So that is a hard one to say.
No, not really, because the kebab is only like €2 here.
That
So
you
even
put a kebab. I want a high quality kebab, so mine are really expensive.
okay.
All right, so we see this guide going to RINE space. RINE is spawning in red, or did I say that wrong?
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
Insolence.
RINE yellow, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, RINE is yellow and Insolence is red.
Once again,
There
it's
we
not too
go.
confusing. At least they're sticking with it. Would be so mean if players just like switch
Oh,
colors.
People
just
tend to do that, just to annoy me.
yeah. But everything is really professional here. Colors are being forced.
And once again, this probe is going for that pylon. There's lots of hate going on between those probes and pylons.
Yeah, but maybe they're just connecting. It looks like.
It looks like a connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Knistert.
That's a nice German word.
Don't know if there is an equivalent in English which has the same meaning. Probably not.
No.
So for all the Germans out there, you understood.
And everybody else is completely confused what's going on right
It's
now.
okay. So yeah, first gateway is finished in at the base of Insolence, going for the core now. So all pretty normal, and you see a little hate trait as the probe down there was going for the pylon as well. And we see pretty much exactly the same build in the other base.
I do like the wall of that RINE was doing in his main, so he's kind of protecting his economy, because there can't be any sellers like coming in from the south of the mineral lines, so it's a little bit easier to defend if something like an early attack would go on, which is good because it's not hurting him and it's already like strengthening his defenses a little bit. You should always think about where to put your buildings, because it can change a game, losing game to a winning game, just because you put your buildings in the correct placement.
That's actually a really, really good point you're making there, as I never really thought about it in the other matchups. I mean, if Fred is playing against the Zerg, it's obvious that you need a really, really good building placement. But yeah, as you say that now, it most likely does make sense for all the other matchups as well. I keep learning stuff here. This is so educational for me.
That is good, because we want to see you casting more StarCraft.
I will as soon as I get it all in my head, but I'm doing my final exams right now, so
yeah.
I have to focus on that first.
But after that you can just
exactly,
go all
then I
in
go for it.
StarCraft.
I go all in, and we hope those players not going to do the same. We see 4 warp gates though again on the side of Insolence, and we see 4 as well on that side, and ChatGPT will stick to that this time.
Just a little bit of the difference is that Insolence got his gas stolen by RINE, but I mean he's not intending to get a gas right now anyways. At least he sees the warp gates and he can see the warp gate timing, and he saw all 4 gates, and I mean I guess the thing is he already wasted a little bit money without doing anything. That's not good necessarily.
Well, he's at least able to pick up that salad, but there comes the reinforcement, so he has to back off a bit. And does he have no warp gates just finished? Now he's just getting them, and will most likely lose that salad as well. And God, there's more coming in, and now he has to warp more stuff to actually be able to defend against that attack.
Yeah, now more units are being morphed in for RINE, and it looks like he does have one more stalker, takes out one stalker as well. And now it's gonna come down to pure micro.
We'll see who of those 2 players will have the better one. Okay, 1 pylon less on the side from RINE. Insolence going for the other pylon. So we're going for those pylons. Obviously, he's trying to get him supply stuck, not being able to get more reinforcements there.
And that was really bad for Insolence, because his salads were out of place behind the stalkers, not being able to fight at the very beginning of the battle. And RINE is just obliterating his forces right now.
And that was good for him, so he most likely will be able to defend against Insolence there. He is pulling back now.
Yeah.
He only has to get rid of those pylons.
He has to be a little bit careful now, not to be over eager. He is just sticking on the ramp now, morphing in more units and not risking to run into an overwhelming force. And RINE is losing his gas now because obviously Insolence wants to transition into some late game now. But once again, RINE has the advantage from the beginning, just sticking with one gas right now. So, and only having 2 probes. No, oh yeah, only two in gas. I wonder if that's intentional because he wanted to have more minerals, or I think he lost 1 probe to his Stalker.
Yeah. He's going for the second gas now though, and he is moving out as well. Not quite sure, is that the right position at this point, or does he just want to put pressure on his opponent, so forcing him to kind of stay in his base where he is?
Yeah, he just wants to check out if there's an expansion, just be active on the map. I liked how he just poked up the ramp and not actually went up there, because it would have been terrible against force fields. He would have lost everything. It was a little bit risky if Insolence reacts a little bit faster, I guess, but it's all fine.
Still have only 2 workers in that gas. So that is obviously...
Yeah, that's gonna be painful for the rest of the game if he doesn't notice.
Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, it happens to almost everybody, to be honest, because you have so many things to do and then you just don't notice everything. Of course it shouldn't happen. I guess every time you get attacked, after that, after everything cools down and you don't have too much on your hands right now, you should check your worker count on the gas.
How many people are actually doing that? I wouldn't at least.
Yeah, but you should.
Yeah, well, people should do lots of things.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, he's probably scouting now for any kind of proxy pylons around his base. Those are focused still looking around, and we have the robotics who just finished.
And the support base coming out for both players. So we are gonna see a mirror match kinda. Both players are only gonna build Salads now because he wants to save up every gas for the Colossus range upgrade. And yeah, I mean, I guess it comes down to how people engage each other. Are they gonna expand, or is one player gonna attack? But you're always gonna be at a little bit of a disadvantage attacking. RINE does have one big advantage though. He has 7 Stalkers. And his opponent only has 3 Stalkers, and you do want to have a lot of Stalkers, but you don't want to spend any gas on Stalkers later on because you need it for Colossus. So you only build Salads, but if you have more Stalkers from earlier on, it's great. Now I'm making things more complicated than they are.
That was very enlightening. I enjoyed you quite a bit. What would be the thing you would do in that match right now? Like if you would be in either of those positions?
I'd probably be playing Terran or third.
Yeah, okay, that's something they probably can't switch right now.
Yeah.
It is a good idea though.
Well, I mean, I would do what they're doing right now. Just stick in my base, kill that observer with my observer because I'm a great player, like... No. I just play defensive, see when my opponent expands, and probably expand after my opponent expands, just to be sure. And try to go for a macro game.
And it looks like Insolence is about to play a little bit more aggressive now. He has them Immortals, which are beastly units. Very, very evil beastly units. And yeah, well, he will get scouted, like, now.
Yeah, it's always painful if you lose your observers in PvP quarrels. Then you're suddenly blind and your opponent knows exactly what's going on.
And do you see the first Colossi now as well for Insolence, who's just on its way to making good force field there. He will be able to get rid of those now. Why would you move that full with the Colossi?
Well, he destroys the force field to get the units up, but now he has a really good arc. But I mean, he lost so many units just because of that one force field. I'm not sure if he can defend at this point.
And he's of course trying getting more of those units, but he has
it's such a close battle, but there's still an Immortal, and the Immortal is gonna make a huge difference. The second Colossus is gonna pop out now, so he's gonna be able to help a lot.
With some of his workers, or at least he's now going in with all of his workers, trying to tank some damage of the Immortal, and also just like kind of do the damage from them by themselves. And this is working out quite good actually. And the Colossi of his opponent finally dies, and so does the Immortal. So he did hold off that attack, but that could have been, that was really close to begin with.
And we did miss some action in the red base. I just saw some yellow points disappearing. There were some Salads morphed in from the proxy pylon. I think they killed some probes to kill the pylon, and now Insolence has a few more workers, but it's a very even game.
Yeah, and they all still kind of are aggressive, looking for those proxy pylons during the whole day. They yeah, they spend days looking for proxy pylons, and this very day they did find one right there,
Yeah.
and so they basically just kill off the proxy pylons of their opponents.
Yeah, kind of making it even, like resetting the map. Now everything is normal again, and both players have really tiny armies because they kind of just put their hurts on each other, couldn't expand, and just battling and killing everything.
Oh, well, of course, that Colossi with the range upgrade and everything will help quite a bit in that army.
Oh, we need to be careful. He needs to back up because Colossus is a little bit slower than Stalkers, obviously, and Insolence is gonna be able. No, he does not decide to follow because it is pretty risky.
But I think if they would have engaged in that fight, Insolence would have most likely won that one.
Indeed, but I mean he cannot really know what's behind there, and
he really wants to get rid of that pylon.
Yeah, I mean it hurts a lot to get supply blood, but Insolence, yeah, he gets supply blood, can't build any units right now, and you never want that to happen. Does actually AdrenA have the range upgrade for Colossus? I kind of missed that.
Oh yeah, I did not see that.
No,
either.
he does not have the range upgrade for Colossus, so...
I thought they had it.
No, Insolence is...
Interesting.
does have it now, and that is gonna make a pretty big difference, because you can just out-micro your opponent so easily.
I mean, now the not only is the army bigger of Insolence, but also their Colossi have a, like, longer range, so I wouldn't engage in that battle, and it doesn't seem like AdrenA is actually doing so. It has another Colossi joining the army. But still, risky. Now he does engage in that fight, and we shall see how this will turn out. Gets rid of some of those zealots. They get picked up quite good actually, but he's losing quite a lot of his grind units himself, and his opponent still does have kind of a little bit to work with, and it looks good for AdrenA. Despite everything I said before, he is able to make Insolence back to his base.
Yeah, that was a really good arc by AdrenA, and you know, the thing is, if you get range upgrade, you always have one Colossus less because it's 200 gas, and it all comes down to the gas part because you only have one base. And the additional Colossus actually did more than the range upgrade help. And it looks like AdrenA is gonna go for long distance mining now, as his base is almost depleted. I mean, that he should actually have some probes left on the field minerals. That's not too smart. I mean, the move of long distance mining is good, but you should leave some probes there.
Yeah, I mean, those minerals that go to waste, dude.
Yeah. And now actually the buildings are blocking a little bit of the mining. While Insolence is moving out now, he is almost mined out himself, so it's gonna come down to who can decide the next battles, and he's gonna go for proxy mining as well.
Is there any chance either of those players is trying to get a second base by that point of
No,
time, or
I
is
don't
that just
think
like, nah, it's not gonna happen?
I don't think it's gonna ever happen in this game now, because if you build the Nexus, you would basically die.
Okay, he's using those coasters, and he's still not quite effectively, and is getting in himself now. Again, a very, very good arc he's doing with his Colossi, and he pretty much got rid of most of the land units of his opponent, but he lost pretty much everything himself, and now it's Colossi versus Colossi. We still have a Stalker there, and 3 of those Colossi of Insolence is still alive, and they picked up 1 Colossi and the second one, and now it's 1 versus 1, and 1 Stalker joining that army as well. We have some sentries which are still alive, and 1 Zealot, and both backing off again.
Yeah, what an incredible game. I mean, as I said, PvP can be exciting, and this is definitely an exception of the normal rule. Insolence does have a big advantage now though, because he has a lot more probes left mining, and especially if you don't have a Nexus and you have to go so far, having more probes makes it even bigger impact than usually, so AdrenA kinda has to do something now to change that. He has to kill probes.
He's going for the leftover minerals, at least, in his base, finally. Yeah, not quite sure what would be the right thing to do for either of them. I mean, building units right now, they don't really have the resources to do so. Building another Nexus, as you said, would absolutely not make sense either. What will this be about? Probe versus probe in the end?
Well, I mean, Insolence does actually have quite some income.
Wow.
At least a little bit, and he could produce a second Colossus. Now his army is a lot bigger, and he can just kind of sit back knowing that AdrenA doesn't really have any workers.
And yeah, let's see, he is about to push out now. He has, what does he have? He has 2 Colossi already again, attacking for the other ones where there it goes. but it's not too bad. We have 4-5 stalkers, and all of them are gonna die. Pick up another one, and the last one